Scaling your law firm doesn't have to be difficult. It's all about mastering a few key strategies, systems, and mindsets. Welcome to the Scalable Law Podcast, where we talk about how you can increase profit in your pocket and time in your calendar. My name is Carolee Fontanelli, and I have successfully scaled my firm so that it doesn't solely rely on me. Now I love teaching other law firm owners how to do the same. Let's transform your business starting now. Well, hello and welcome to another episode of the Scalable Law Podcast. I'm super excited to be here. I know it's been a few weeks. I have been a little bit slack, but partly because I was in Austin at the ClioCon conference, which was absolutely awesome. I met so many lawyers from all over Canada, Australia, and the US, and we had lots of chats about how they're going in their business and what it is like in law land right now in the current climate. Now, interestingly, it's not very different in Australia, Canada, or the US. Everyone has the same issues that are going on in their law firms. And one of the resounding things that really stood out to me was that people are really struggling to find talent. And it didn't matter what practice area. Everyone sort of seems to feel like their practice area, it's harder to find lawyers and talent, but it's not the case. I'm talking to people from many different practice areas, and it seems to be the resounding issue that is out there in the marketplace right now. So today I thought the perfect and most ideal podcast was to talk about that. Why are we struggling to get people on board in our law firms? Why are we struggling to get talent, and what to do about it? The other thing to note as well is that some of the firms that I was speaking with were solo and they're wanting to employ their first team members, and other firms were much larger. They had maybe 20 or 30 employees, and they are still struggling to find talent. And the reality is this: we are selling time and skills for revenue. And so if we cannot grow out our team, we are not going to be able to increase our revenue and therefore our profit in our law firms. So it is really important that we crack the code on what we can be doing to retain that top talent that we're looking for, and what maybe is happening in the marketplace right now as to why there seems to be a talent shortage. It really is becoming increasingly challenging for law firms, and I've got my own theories around why this is. But the number one difficulty, 100%, is that there is a talent shortage. I think this is for several different reasons, but one of the reasons is that we are wanting to employ specialized lawyers who know what they are doing in certain practice areas. Often we are niching down, and personally, I think that is the right way to run your law firm in a niche rather than being everything to everyone. And so many firms are looking for that specific expertise, and the pool of highly specialized lawyers can be more limited. And often I feel that when people get to the top of their game as a lawyer, they then start looking for the next thing in their career. And the next thing in their career is going out on their own, just like we have done. And so they are often out on their own, in their own practices, therefore no longer in the market. And so there we find ourselves in this shortage of good practitioners to employ. I think the other thing to understand as well when it comes to a talent shortage or finding talent is that we feel like and know that we're in competition for clients with other law firms, but we forget that we're actually in competition with other law firms for our employees. I think that's the more important one. And so what are you doing to market the firm to employ and attract great new employees in the practice? There's so many things that you can be doing to elevate your firm as a go-to firm that people and great talent want to come and work for. And so I think one of the solutions here is to be putting yourself out there as a firm that is seeking new talent, that you're a great place to work, and that you are offering, mentorship, career development, and other opportunities as well, rather than just waiting for the right employees to come along. Another issue I think that we've been facing since COVID, not only a talent shortage because people are, specializing and also going out on their own, but also that there is a change in work preferences. And since COVID, a lot of people have changed the way that they want to do work. There's a greater desire for work-life balance. Many lawyers, especially younger ones, are prioritizing work-life balance and flexibility over the traditional long working hours. And so, what does that look like in your firm? What kind of culture have you got happening? And then the other thing too is that a lot of lawyers are expecting remote work. And so with this big shift toward remote and hybrid work arrangements that happened during the pandemic, it's led to those expectations of that more flexible, work environments. I feel like the solution for this is that law firms really do need to adapt to offering flexible work arrangements and remote work options, or hybrid models. So in my law practice, we offer hybrid models and continue creating, of course, that positive work culture that emphasizes work-life balance. So what else are you doing in terms of offering that work-life balance to accommodate people? Maybe it's working less days per week. Maybe it's things like ensuring that people are not giving out mobile phone numbers, that there is a culture that it's unacceptable to work outside certain hours, rather than that it's unacceptable to stop work at a certain hour of the day. So, making sure you are actually offering that balance in your workplace is so important. Of course, the next thing is that we are competing in the marketplace in terms of salary offerings. So what is your firm offering? Is your compensation competitive in the marketplace? Not only are people expecting the desired work-life balance and remote expectations, but they're also expecting competitive salaries. And so, when it comes to them looking for work, they are definitely shopping around when it comes to salaries, and people are becoming more and more savvy when it comes to negotiating their salaries. So what are you able to do in your law practice to create that competitive edge? Now, of course, I completely understand as a law firm owner myself, it has to work. The numbers have to work. So when it comes to a competitive salary and compensation, and the same with the work, the changing in the work preferences, so desiring remote work and work-life balance, what can you do as a law firm that you can offer those things, but be ensured that you are still going to be profitable? So one of the things that we have in place, which I talk about all the time, is having really great KPIs in place so that the team members who are remote, who have great high salaries, they have KPIs to meet. They have to know that they can't just break even. They have to be profitable. And so having those conversations and making sure that they know what their KPIs are. What are the targets that you have put in place in your firm? Have they been communicated with your team? Are they being communicated on a regular basis? And are you checking what their KPIs are? This way, you're striking the balance between giving employees what they want in terms of the work preferences and the competitive salary, but you're also getting what you need as a business, which is targets being met, and so that those salaries can be paid, and so that when people are working from home, for example, you know that they are actually meeting their targets still. One of the things that we do at our firm is that we have our KPIs in place, They are communicated regularly every single week to the team. And we often check that the work from home days, for example, that their targets are being met equally on those days as the days that they are in office. So that's something there that you can do, where then you can have a conversation if they're not being met on a regular basis, and you can say remote working isn't going to work for you as an employee if you can't meet these targets, and just making sure that that is very well understood. Now, the fourth point I have about attracting the right talent and what to do about it is to really make sure that the firm has a great reputation and culture. No one wants to work in a negative workplace where the culture is poor, and it's just not a great or fun place to work at. So what kind of reputation have you got out there in the marketplace? Maybe you don't have a reputation at all. And so that means that there's a lot you can do to build your reputation. Get out online, post about what you're doing in the office, showcase your firm and what it looks like to be working at your firm. It's a really great solution to make sure that you are creating that positive, supportive environment, but you're also posting that online and sharing online what it is like to work at your firm. This is really, really easily done. And I think a lot of firms are not doing this enough. And that is why it can be hard to employ people, because people don't want to walk into a firm that they don't know anything about. So you need to have a really great reputation and a great culture. You might have a great culture, but do people know about it? It can certainly help your recruitment efforts if you are known for having a positive culture and reputation. So get your firm out there online, post, celebrate, and really showcase who you are and what you stand for in the marketplace, not only for clients, but for recruitment purposes as well. The fifth thing is that new lawyers and modern lawyers are wanting to work at modern law firms. They don't want to work at the old traditional law practices where the files are piled high, dictation tools are still being used, and all of that kind of thing. They want to work at a firm that's modern and that they have advanced in their tech use, that they're adopting really great technology and software to manage cases and matters. So there is a skill gap here, and some candidates will potentially feel unprepared when they have to do things the old school way, limiting the talent pool. So the solution here is to really embrace technology as much as you can. And I know for you guys who are listening into this podcast, you are not going to be a law firm who is stuck in the dark ages. You're going to be a law firm who wants to be advancing and wants to be using tech. So I'm probably here preaching to the converted already, but having the right tech is really important, and having modern tools. If you need to update your software, now is the time to do it. You want to make sure that your firm is as efficient as possible and that you are using modern tools. That is really going to help you to attract talent. On the other hand, I have before in my firm interviewed lawyers who are a little older maybe, or have been around for a while, and they literally have not been a good fit for my firm, not because they're not great operators and great lawyers and really technical, but because they are not used to using modern technology. For example, they would still need to dictate. We don't dictate in our firm, or they still need paper files. Well, we're paperless. But what that comes down to is that they're just not a good fit for our firm, because we are a firm that is using tech, and we are advancing all the time, making sure that we are as efficient as possible. So offering ongoing tech training and development, making sure you're looking into the latest tools. Go to conferences like LawBizCon, for example, where all of those tools are going to be there exhibiting, so that you can see what you can implement into your firm to make things a whole lot easier for your employees. And making sure as well, tying back to having a firm where you've got different work preferences like working from home. Can your tech support people who want to work remotely and work from home? Because that can really help as well. Now, another issue, number 6, is geographic limitations. So if you are a firm who requires everyone to come into the office, it is going to limit your talent pool because you're only going to be attracting people who are in your local area. For firms that are in the country, for example, they might not be in a big city, it's really important that you do offer those remote offerings, because otherwise your talent pool is going to be very, very small. So another solution here when it comes to making sure that you're set up for work from home and having no geographical limitations set on your firm is making sure that your firm is fully driven by data and processes. If your firm is driven by data and processes, you are not leaving it up to guesswork, and you're able to make sure that the people who are representing your firm are doing it in a way that fits and aligns with your culture and service expectations. So that is something that is really important. And finally, the other thing that can really help with talent is making sure that you have got progression built into your law firm. Sometimes lawyers don't want to come and work for a smaller practice, say a solo practice, because they feel like there's going to be no progression for them. And if there's limited opportunities for advancement, many lawyers are going to find other teams to join. So a solution here is offering a really clear pathway to leadership positions and partnership in your law firm, as well as career development as they go along. So something that we've got in place in our firm is we've got a career progression chart. Our team are aware of this, and it's communicated with them, and it's spelt out really clearly what all the different stages are, right from PLT or law clerk right through to partnership, and what that looks like and what the expectations are around that. So you can create a progression path using a progression document, and that can really assist in providing clarity around progression at your law firm. So let's go through the reasons that it is difficult at the moment to hire and what we can do about it. So number 1, there is a talent shortage, 100%. Number 2, there are changing work preferences. People are wanting to work differently these days. Number 3, making sure that you can offer competitive compensation. Number 4, what does your firm reputation and culture look like? Number 5, are you a tech-driven firm? Number 6, are you limiting yourself geographically? And number 7, making sure that there's career progression in place at your firm so that you are more attractive. So I hope today's been really helpful to you. I've certainly enjoyed delivering this podcast to you today as I'm reflecting on my own firm. We have certainly had to put in place all of these things since COVID to ensure that we are able to attract the right talent as we require the firm to grow or to replace roles. And so I hope that this has been really helpful to you as well. Now, just quickly, as you all know, we have the Scalable Business Lounge, and we also have the Accelerator Program. So the Accelerator Program is for firms who have a team of 5 or more, and it's also for firms who want to not only scale their firms, but they want to have their firms running like a well-oiled machine. The other thing that we do in the Accelerator Program is we get work off your plate as a law firm owner. So we reduce your working hours, create more profit and more freedom. It is a program where you will get to meet a whole lot of other law firm owners who are doing exactly like what you are doing. And this program is absolutely amazing if you have a law firm of a team of 5 or more. If that is you, applications are now open for 2025. We are going to be onboarding everyone very soon to start in January. It's a really amazing program where firms are absolutely exploding in their growth but also the law firm owner is finding that they are creating a whole lot of freedom for themselves. And that's exactly what we want. If you are a law firm owner working 60, 70 hours a week and you have a demanding team and you feel like you are, you've got a whole lot of kids at work, and then you go home and you got a whole lot of kids to deal with at home and there's just no reprieve, this program is for you. In 12 months, we can absolutely transform your firm. And this will be the 3rd year it's been running. And we have brought some amazing law firm owners through it, and the results have been incredible. So if you'd love to hop on a call with me to talk about Accelerator for 2025, if you want to transform your firm, please jump on a call. You can head over down to the show notes here, or you can to book a strategy call, or you can hop over to my website, www.scalablelaw.com. Until next time, I hope that you have a fabulous week, and I look forward to you tuning in again soon. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to the Scalable Law Podcast, brought to you by the Scalable Business Lounge. If you would love to know how you can get more clients without relying on referrals, head over to scalablelaw.com to watch my free masterclass. Until next time, you have got this.